and its career path. So a short introduction, senior Dynamics and a platform functional consultant in the Microsoft China with over like 5 years experience in consulting, design, and developing the Microsoft business applications. He has a passion for technology and enjoys sharing what he learns with others and to enable them to learn faster and be more productive. He's currently located in London, England, in the UK. And yeah, he's also a blogger, so you can find most of his at chimeokuri.com. So to do the session, Chime, you can now. In case you have any questions, you can take them on the chat box. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Even though like I couldn't hear.
Yeah, I guess you can start now, Chime.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. Thanks for thanks for giving me the opportunity to come here and share an introduction to Power Platform and how you can obviously get into Power Platform and all the different career paths that you can have within the platform as well. I will start by giving you some of the my profile. As an introduction, as I was introduced, I've been working with the Power Platform Dynamics 365 landscape for a couple of years now. But I've also worked in various sectors, like banking, insurance, government, healthcare, and things like that, right? Yes, I'm also a certified Microsoft certified trainer, and I do work for an organization called Kano Software in the UK, and I utilize obviously Azure business applications, Power Platform, and Dynamics 365. You can see my contacts here. You can contact me on LinkedIn. I've got my own personal email. I also have a blog, chimeokure.com, that you can also reach out to me if you have any questions after today. Twitter is always easy. I think you can connect on Twitter and DM, ask questions. So for the purpose of today, like we said, this is my agenda. I wanted to build this sort of around an agenda, give you an introduction of what Microsoft Power Platform is, what are the different components within the Power Platform, what is Dataverse, what are the different components. Now I'll break it down into each and every component of the Power Platform. And also, what are the career paths? What kind of skills do you need to be able to get into this industry? Do you have any resources? We have tons and tons of resources that you can actually also utilize in order to get yourself onto the career ladder. Okay? So if you don't know how to code, but you want to be able to build applications in order to be able to solve business problems, you don't need to worry about being a pro developer to be able to use or work in Microsoft Power Platform, right? You don't need all that technical experience anymore to build amazing apps. That's why Microsoft have leveraged this Microsoft Power Platform tools in order to be able to create your own apps and be more efficient in your organization and make all those repetitive tasks that we always do when we're working or when we're studying, for example. Microsoft just brought out these tools in order to help us make all those changes as well. Okay. Like I said, I'll go into each and every one of them. How we'll be able to use it to analyze, the data, how we'll be able to use it to build solutions, how we'll be able to use it to automate our processes, and also like create what we call chatbots, which is the virtual agents. We'll be able to also see that and what kinds of different scenarios, use cases, industries that will be able to use these Power Platform components. Like I always say to people, whenever I give an introduction to what is Microsoft Power Platform, the possibility is very vast, is very endless. You know, the more obviously advanced you get into the technology, you can see how it kind of like, you know, dissipates, and you can use it to actually be more, like I said, productive, efficient, and use it to run automated tasks as well. Yeah. And the very good thing about it is that it just frees up your employer's time. Like, you know, it just gives you enough time so you can use it to do high value work as well. Okay. The first question that always comes into play is, what is Microsoft Power Platform? Yeah, everyone asks that question. And also, I want this to be a very engaging session. So feel free to unmute yourself, ask any question as we go along, right? It's always fun, you know, if I hear other voices and not just my own voice, right? So the Power Platform, the way I describe it is just a low code platform, yeah, that will enable individuals, citizen developers, the code, not your pro developers. It will enable organizations in order to analyze, you know, everything is all about data, in order for them to analyze this data, in order for them to act on the data, and also automate all these business processes as well. Yeah, it's open to everybody, right? From your front end, you know, somebody that works, you know, on the shop floor, your frontline worker, someone that works in an office, your receptionist. It just allows everybody in an organization to kind of like, you know, deliver better business outcomes. Just helps them to drive better business outcomes as well. Yeah, by building all these apps and using all the different components of the Power Platform. Like we know, everything about organizations now is all about data. I mean, they said that data is the new oil. But yeah, it's true. Like, you know, everything from how your users interact, your data on a daily basis. If you work in an organization, you need to key in your time. For example, you need to be able to say, obviously, clock in, clock off. You need to be able to enter your time in order for them to do your payroll, and different processes like, you know, leave requests, everything that just helps us to drive and analyze data to make a better decision. Yeah, that's what the Microsoft Power Platform is here to do. You know, just to help us, empower everybody, empower the organization to be able to automate all these menial responsibilities that we do on a daily basis. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far, just based on, you know, what actually is this technology? I'll call it technology, or Microsoft Power Platform. Okay, moving on. So I talk about the components, right? The components of the Power Platform. What is it? What is actually in that two sets of the Power Platform? We have four key products of the Power Platform. We have our Power Apps, we have our Power Automate, we have our Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and Power Pages, basically. I would say five key products, not four anymore. But what the Power Apps, basically what Power Apps does is just enables organizations to basically solve all their business problems, you know, using low code, no code applications in order to be able to curate these apps. Yeah. And the good thing about Power Apps is you can just curate these apps in a matter of hours. You know, not before, you know, you want to create a business requirement that involves, like say, for example, an application. It will take months, some even years to create some of this, and so many, obviously, requirements in order to go through to produce a simple app. But Microsoft have given us this power, has empowered us now to be able to build out these apps just in a matter of hours. Yeah, you don't, like I said before, you don't have to be a technical user. You don't have to have a technical, like brain in order to be able to create some of these apps. They're custom applications. They can work on your mobile. They can work on your web. They can work on your tablets, and they can also use to be, they can be used to drive or support business processes, basically. Yeah, there are different types of power apps. We see that as we go on as well. But yeah, just use it to capture information. Make it on the go. There's there's the first Dynamics 365 first third-party applications as well. You can build apps onto the landscape as well. And basically, this will just help us eliminate all those repetitive tasks, all those things that we usually do on Excel or use paper to request for leave and, menial tasks. This will just help us to make it easier to be able to do our job, basically. Yeah. And not that it just makes it easier, it just makes everybody across the organization can utilize it as well. Okay. The next one is a very core component here is Power Automate. It used to be called Microsoft Flow, if any of you guys know before, but the name has changed like in the last couple of years. It's basically an automation, like a workflow automation. Yeah, is, I would say, yeah, it does actually wonders when you get into it and start using it to automate your business processes. You can use it to connect also your apps and services. You can use it to receive things like notifications. You can use it to collect data. You can use it with conjunction with SharePoint. You can use it to sync your files as well. I mean, there's a lot more that you can use when it comes to Power Automate. I will show you the Power Automate editor, and also we have a host of templates, a lot of templates that we can use just quickly on the go that Microsoft has already built, and we can actually also leverage those templates as well. We also have connections when it comes to Power Automate. There's about, 400, more than 400 applications, web-based services that it can automatically connect to as well. Yeah. The very popular ones, we know Microsoft Office, like, our Word, Excel, and things like that, Office 365. SharePoint, I've just mentioned, we can use that capability and utilize that as well. Even things like Facebook, Twitter, Dropbox, Salesforce, different applications as well. The next component I wanted to mention is Power Virtual Agents. Power Virtual Agents is astronomical, like a no-brainer. Is just an interface, right? That when you go onto organizations, you go onto their website. On the right-hand side of your screen, you probably see a chatbot, like, hi, how can I help you? Things like that, right? Microsoft have leveraged the whole no-code interface to create their own chatbots. Like I said, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be a data scientist. You don't need to be a highly, programming person to be able to utilize this component. Yeah, it uses AI, so it's got some AI features in the database. So all the whole AI automation, it utilizes it to assist your customers and your employees. A very good example is contact centers, telephone contact centers on mobile phones. Like when you call them, it will recognize, who the customer is. If it would not be able to say, for example, all the frequently asked questions on the organization's website, If it cannot answer those questions that's been asked, it will kind of like, refer you to like a human customer service as well. So everything connects to your backend systems. You have loads of connections. It comes with also connectors as well that connects to the Power Platform. Yeah, this is very powerful. Use cases, I've used it in building out customer and requirements, and it just works wonders as well. Deploying them, you can deploy it to Azure. We have what we call Azure Bot Framework as well, so you can also deploy that there. You can integrate it within your Power App as well. You can extend it. There's obviously very complex scenarios that you can utilize the Power Virtual Agent for, but yeah, it is very good, very good. Organizations are leveraging that now. Is basically helping them to kind of like your employees who face something like more, I would say, better, like within the organization, than just answering questions on the website. This Power Virtual Agent can easily replace that human interaction as well. The next component we have as well is the Power BI. Just going into this is more of your analytics, your data analytics within your organization's database, or within an organization's database. So basically, it just gathers all this data, your knowledge management. It analyzes it to obviously evaluate this information and present it like more visually, in a more visually way for managers, for people that have decision makers, I'll call them, within the organization. It's always better if they see data visually within the organization. Yeah, it's very powerful. Within the Power Platform, he also has like his I would say his own journey. Like he has his own certification. Yeah, Power BI is actually very, very, very big, and organizations are now more and more organizations are leveraging it, replacing Excel. I'm using Power BI. Okay. So basically, it brings your data to life. Yeah. So reporting, dashboards, and also you don't have to be a technical business user in order to utilize the tools. You can share the data, you can visualize it, you can see it. You can also like analyze obviously that data as well. They also Another thing I also want to mention is when it comes to Power BI, it can connect, to any data source. I mean, it's got loads of data sources it can connect to, but basically connecting to other types of, your Salesforce, your SQL database, in order to get the best insights and obviously the answers that you might require within that database as well. Yeah. It works very well. You can embed that in Dynamics 365, all the third-party applications. You can embed that in Microsoft Teams as well. Your Azure, I just mentioned Power Apps, and also utilizing the business automation with Power Automate. You can also utilize that within Power BI. Within Power Automate, there's a couple of templates I'll show you later that you can also use that to run automation in Power BI. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast, but please, if I do, just let me know. Or is there any questions so far?
I guess the piece is all good and no questions so far. I'll let you know when there are questions posted at the chat section. So you can go on for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. After the components, I'll come back to Power Pages and I'll tell you why as well in a minute. But after the components, you also need to know what are the features of Microsoft Power Platform. I think there's a noise at the background. Sorry, if you can just probably mute that noise. Thank you. And one of the core features of the Microsoft Power Platform is that it allows users to extend, right? So you can extend into Microsoft 365. I mentioned about Dynamics 365, Azure as well, in order to help improve your business processes, your systems, your workflows. You can obviously extend that. Yeah, it's highly scalable. You can also have this ability to just easily build your custom applications. Yeah, automating your workflows. Like I mentioned about this AI capabilities that we have within the Power Platform and Dataverse as well. Yes, AI Builder is also integrated within the Microsoft Power Platform. So things that kind of like, will just help and enhance the AI capabilities is also a very important feature of the Microsoft Power Platform. So the platform can bring all this data together into Dataverse. So Dataverse is like the underlying layer of the Microsoft Power Platform. I'll go more into that in a second as well. But yes, it just supports, different multiple connections, data connections. Like I said, you can bring in data into the Microsoft Power Platform from other different platforms, yeah, and use it to build that automation. So everything is just siloed in one place. Everything is in one place. And a core feature of the Microsoft Power Platform as well is everything like I've just been talking about, all the extension, all the custom applications, all the data connectors. We can also manage it through what we call the Azure Active Directory. Yeah. So if anyone here knows Azure, all the identity can be managed. So you have this rich, like policies. You can bring all like things like multi-factor authentication within the Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah, that's a very, I would say, strong core feature of the Power Platform. Just having that, users, all the identity that you brought up from different other platforms and just managing it through the through AAD. Okay. Yes, I said I will come to this. Basically, I've been talking about Microsoft Power Platform, but we also need to know what is Dataverse. It's very important. Microsoft Dataverse is like I said, is a storage. I call it an underlying storage container, like where everything goes into. But I mean, to further explain, is a cloud-based solution. Yeah. So a cloud-based solution, it has a structure within the solution. So things like all your business logic, all your data, all your tables, it supports all those applications. It kind of like, processes it into a very structured way, structure, compliance as well. Is maintained and managed by Microsoft. Yeah, it's a Microsoft product. So it's maintained by them. It's available globally, different regions. It can be deployed geographically as well. So things like complying with your, say, like countries or regions, say when it comes to compliance, right? So it just complies with every, geographical region and all the potential data that might be available in that region as well. Yeah. It's not like it's cloud, so it's not something that is designed for you to be able to use on your servers. Like you can't just keep it just to use it within your organization, right? It's mainly designed to be like this whole data container, like a repository where you kind of like put in all your business data. Yeah, things like, yeah, everything else behind it. Like behind the scene is the core, is the back end. So your third-party applications in Dynamics, your marketing, your customer service, your sales, everything, your field service, everything is just being maintained within your Dataverse. Yeah. I'll show you what that looks like just now. We'll go into this just to kind of like break in. Okay, so I need to sign into one of these things as well. But, yeah. So like this is basically what it is. Like you're on your make.powerapps.com. You have your Dataverse here. You can see you've got all your tables. For example, if you're utilizing different types of applications, it's easier for you to come in here. We have custom tables. You can create your own tables as well. So you can see what I mean by everything is structured within here. Everything is kind of like structured, your tables, you start within your tables, you now have like your columns as well within your tables, your forms, where do you display your data? You also have things like your form as well. You can create like in a new table, we have custom tables here as well. But yeah, this is where your data lives in. You've got, yeah, chatbots, you've got your AI build that I mentioned earlier as well. You can also kind of like, manage everything into or contain all your data within a solution as well. But yeah, this is not, I'm not going to go into much detail into this, but I just wanted to show you, yes, we have a scalable data service that everything, is or everything lives in that will allow users to securely store and manage their data. This is basically like, this is the storage where you come. If you want to create a new table, you can start giving them a name, a description. Yeah, but out of the box, we also do have like custom tables, like your accounts, your contacts, your lead, your opportunities, things like that. Yeah. I mentioned also when I talked about Power Automate that we do also have like templates. I will go into detail a bit more in a couple of minutes, but yes, we do. This is the Power Automate, I would say, editor, but this is basically where you come, you start curating your flows. But I just wanted to show you that there are tons and tons and tons of templates that Microsoft have already built for us. I work with obviously Power Platform and Dynamics 365 a lot. Within Dynamics 365, we also have like templates that have been provided. But yes, of course, you can also build your own custom flows as well. And not just building your own custom flows, we also have different types of flows, which I will be telling you more in a second. Okay. So we have different types of flows, automation, instance, if you want to schedule a flow, your business process flows as well. They all live within your Power Automate editor. Okay. Moving on. So I've kind of like showed you what this slide is talking about, but yeah, pulling all that data in order to be able to leverage and work with Dataverse. This is basically like, how you can be able to, utilize all the data that you have within the Dataverse. So you can use it to manage your data. Like I said, from multiple sources, you can also integrate that data into all these different business applications, your Power Automate, your Power BI, your Power Pages, your Power Virtual Agents. You can. Basically, your Dataverse is just a common currency, just common. That's something that enables us to utilize all these different components of the Microsoft Power Platform. Okay. Yeah. So on this, yeah, just showed you what make.powerapps.com, what it looks like. I'm just kind of like thinking, is there something else I'm missing? But yeah, with all your standard tables and columns, you know, yeah, you can obviously define relationships as well within all this data in order to build a more scalable and powerful solution for your organization, for yourself in your projects as well. Okay. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you know, we look at this, we see Microsoft Dataverse. Yes, it does a lot, it's scalable, but what's inside the box? What is really inside Microsoft Dataverse? So you've got things like your storage, you've got things like your logic, you've got data, you've got integration. Obviously, you've got security. Security is very important. So when it comes to handling all your authentication with your Azure Active Directory, you know, you need that security. You need to allow people to be able to use the platform. So things like your multi-factor authentication, you can see I signed into my multi-factor authentication when I logged into my make.powerapps.com. So it kind of like allows us to know who is using the system and also provide, you know, auditing. It has auditing capabilities within the system as well. When it comes to logic, yes, you can apply logic. You can apply conditions, business logic at every data level within Microsoft Dataverse. You know, it doesn't matter how a user is interacting with the data. Obviously, once you've applied that logic within Dataverse, it will actually be the same for everybody else. Okay. When it comes to your data, how do you control your data? How do you model your data? How do you validate your data? Is also very important for us, especially when it comes to reporting. How do you report on that data? You need to be aware. You need to be able to control how that data is reported. Yeah. So, yeah, model the data on how you report it. When it comes to your applications, your Canvas app, model-driven app, I'll come into that as well. But yes, you can also know whether you want that offline, online, whether you want that on mobile, or tablet, on the web. You just know how to classify your data. Storage-wise, Dataverse stores all your physical data. So everything is stored in Azure Cloud. So it's a cloud-based system anyway. So all that burden, you don't need to worry about, oh, am I going to lose this? Am I going to miss this? Am I going to lose this file? Everything is handled by Microsoft for you as well. Integration, all your APIs, all your webhooks, all your data exports as well. All that is integrated. It supports that. It gives you flexibility to be able to get data in and out of the system. Yeah, in a nutshell, it is a lot. Obviously, it's a lot more than that, but just breaking it down of what's in the box is ideal for you to get that understanding of, okay, yeah, this is what is actually really inside this. Yeah, it is highly scalable and it can do a lot as well. We talked about building apps. So these solutions, like I said, you know, all your different apps or your Power Apps can be built on web and mobile and tablets. This is, you know, just a slide just to show you that, you know, you can consume them across board. You can also curate your different types of apps. We have Canvas apps. We have our model-driven apps, which is the next slide I'm going to show you now. So when it comes to Power Apps, it's exactly what it says on the tin, Canvas app. Yeah, it just gives you a black canvas, just empty canvas, where you kind of like, you know, drag in, drop, drag. You start building how you want your app to look. There have been loads of changes within Microsoft recently. Just you can even just draw an image now and just upload that image, and it will just reposition how you want your Canvas app to look like as well. There's new technology that Microsoft also like integrated, Figma. But yeah, these are all the things that are coming new into the Microsoft Business Application space. But yeah, Canvas app, just utilize it, design it how you want it to be. Once everything is in its proper place, you can obviously start making adjustments. You know, how do you want it to look? Do you want to put color to it? Do you want to adjust it? Do you want to increase the size? You know, you can now start building around that, right? Once you're satisfied with your design, you can connect it. There's so many data sources you can plug it into, you know, different types of different sources, data sources. The good thing, or what you need to know about the Canvas app, is it just uses what we call an FX language. So within the business applications, the language is called FX. It's nothing unusual like your Excel. You know, like your Excel formulas, how you write formulas in Excel. That's how you start building out on this Canvas app. Yeah. For me, I would definitely say, like, you know, the main appeal or the primary appeal for the Canvas app is just, it's easy. When I say it's easy to build, yes, it's easy because you can drag in your sources from different, you can drag in your data from different types of sources. You don't need to worry about, there's a lot of things you don't need to worry about because the data is already structured within Dataverse anyway, if you're using from Dataverse or wherever data source you're using it from. But it's just easy to kind of like, you know, navigate from, go back to screens, just like, you know, the apps that we use on our phone. But like I said, is also highly and powerful. You can see, for example, you get like loads of technicians, for example, like your white van drivers, we call them. They go out on the road to do deliveries or to kind of like do maintenance or your gas boilers or your electricity, things like this. They not need to start carrying, you know, all their data within or like paper and things. You know, everything is on an app. You know, the app is synced back to the source where it comes from, and it just makes life a lot easier, I would say. The next one on the screen as well is our model-driven apps. Yeah. So in this case, if you compare it to a Canvas app, right, everything about a model-driven app is on the data itself. So the data is specifically stored in Dataverse. Remember, Dataverse is our big container, cloud-based storage space that, you know, organizations can use to store their business application data. Model-driven app as well, Dynamics 365. If you know about Dynamics 365, all the different applications. Let me just show you that as well. Just make it easier. So basically, all these are model-driven apps. All the Dynamics 365 third-party applications, they are model. Your sales, your marketing, your field service, your customer service, everything is a model-driven app. Yeah, so that's how it works. Say, for example, if you look at, say, for sales, you can also customize this. This is not the cost for it, but yes, you can also customize the look and feel or build out your own model-driven app the way you want it to look. You can also secure them as well. If you have a users, you don't want your users to be able to see a particular table, you can also use, obviously, like security model in Dataverse to lock that for them as well. But yeah, this is yeah, it is model-driven app. So when you hear about model-driven app, all these applications, your accounts, your contacts, the sales application, all the third-party Dynamics applications, they are model-driven apps. So when it comes to automation, which Power Automate, automating it and integrating it within, obviously, different types of business process. Don't think about, like, you know, if you're not, say, currently working in an organization, this is also for everyone. Like I said, Power Automate has, I've used it not even for work. I use it to automate, like if it's been so hot in London, like since this week. So things like even just getting a weather update on my phone, I just use Power Automate just to do that automation, right? If you're posting, if you want, there's so many different examples. If you want to post a message to Microsoft Teams, for example, we talked about approval process within Teams as well. All that is all that is Power Automate. If you want to create tasks, if you want to say, for example, in Dynamics 365, if you want to update a row in Dynamics, if you want to kind of like update or curate a row in Dataverse, for example, that's all possible by using your Power Automate. Yeah. Cloud-based application. So if you're doing any updates, if you're creating any business automation, that is also stored in back to the data source or in your Dataverse. So you can use it to do quite loads of things. Yeah. There's different, like I said, there's loads of scenarios, but looking at that, I will also show you how you can be able to get your developer, kind of like have a developer license, so you can go into this and try them out for yourself and just use it, like I said, just updating, you know, simple scenarios within your organization or your school, or even just for your daily life, really. There's also integrations within Power Automate, creating what we call an Azure function. Say, for example, I've worked in a project where I did some calculations, some costs based on a repair of a production, something in a production plant. You need to be able to provide number of hours, provide that capacity, how much revenue is that company going to be generating in the next 24 hours, for example. You can just use Azure function, you know, to be able to tell you what results this is, even whether it's possible. It can also tell you when is the next maintenance, when is there any repair that needs to be done after the one that has been done or not. So you can just kind of like use it, automate it. It sends out email when, you know, say, for example, a repair is going to happen in the future, or maybe it's not even feasible. It just kind of like saves a lot of time by integrating some of these things. And like, for example, an Azure function with Power Automate. We also have integration. You probably hear about Power Automate also has a desktop. You can install that in Windows 10. It's free if you have the Windows 11 machine. Is already actually there, is installed for you. So it's robotic, RPA, for robotic process automation. So all those tasks that you do, for example, you can just automate those tasks on your desktop, or maybe tasks that you do even on your website. Yeah, like I said, there's loads of use cases as well. Repetitive tasks, yeah, in a university or a school, you need to be able to say, for example, put in details, student details on a legacy system, for example. You don't need no API. You just kind of like use your RPA and update that. If you want to update an Excel spreadsheet, you know, continuous repetitive stuff, you can also use RPA to do that. So, okay. Loads of scenarios, loads of scenarios. I've got learning resources, I've got links that I'll also be sharing here towards the end of the session, that you can just go and get into all these scenarios for yourself. Yeah. One good thing about the RPA Power Power Automate Desktop, it can record your actions. So you know those tasks that you're doing, that every now and again, click on the screen, do this, do that. It will be able to record all that as well. Yeah. And then curate all that your steps that you've done to achieve that task. It will create that and turn it into a flow. Yeah. To do the task. Yeah, it is very good. It saves a lot of time, valuable time, I would say. It does. And you can also reuse that all the time. Once you've created that flow, you can always just click on, play, and that process will repeat itself again and again. We mentioned Power BI. Power BI is a very core component of the Power Platform. Just by delivering insights into a business or analyzing their data, you can also share these insights within people in your organization, whether you're using reports or you're using dashboard. It enables people to make informed decisions very quickly. Yeah, you can scale it. It can be scaled across an organization. It has loads of things. For example, like your Dataverse has security and governance. It has all those things inside Power BI that allows, say, for example, a business needs to make decision. They need to be able to know who has access to, say, for example, a report, a dashboard. It has that capability of doing that as well. And not just also doing that, you also have, how will I put it? It allows a business to manage it and manage their data efficiently as well. Yeah, I always call it the insights part of the Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah, because you get a lot of data, you get a lot of insights. You can embed them into your Canvas app. You can embed that into your model-driven apps as well. So there's loads of connections, and and you can also use obviously Power Automate in order to be able to drive some of these automation as well. I've worked in projects where just by creating a Power BI dashboard, a report, visually looking like on the screen, it replaces meetings. We all know how sometimes boring meetings can be, but it just allows employees to drive their goals faster, to be able to perform better for the organization than wasting valuable time like discussing about sales that were made for the last year in a meeting. But this can just be generated on the report. Yeah, we talked about chatbots as well, but just obviously giving you a bit more meat into what I said earlier. Power Virtual Agents, right? Like many of the major issues when it comes with your traditional chatbot building a chatbot, the ones that you see on most websites. But just utilizing this is powerful in the sense that it just gives everybody an ability to be able to build on. You don't need to be a pro dev. Like I said before, you don't need to have like, wheezy programming skills in order to just be able to do this. It's quite easy. There's in the resources, there's Power Virtual Agents in a day. I mean, all these components have in a day where users can go in. It's free, and you can just learn some of these features and the different capabilities that they have. There's so many things involved within PVA. You need to be able to also look at the metrics that is coming up from your Power Virtual Agents. You want to be able to improve them. You want to be able to improve your bots, because, for example, you might build something and it's not, especially maybe not right, or maybe that's not the right response for that particular question that a customer is asking. So you just need to know how you can use it, the metrics, the conversational metrics we call it, in order to be able to kind of like gauge whether your chatbots are behaving better. Yes, we've got Power Pages now, formerly called Portals. Is a new, it's not new, I won't say it's new, but the name is new. But basically, in order to be able to build websites, externally facing websites, you can utilize Power Pages to do this. There's no code involved. Yeah, you can just spin up a website as well using this. It used to be called Power Portals before, but it's kind of like more enhanced than what Power Portals used to be. But yeah, very powerful. Like I said, it's new. All this can have trial environments, can be tested. You can just go in, create a scenario, test them out for yourself, and see how you can be able to generate a website without having to code a website. Not even just generating a website, you also have templates that come with Power Pages. So you can just start by utilizing a template and modifying it as you go along. Okay. We also have data connectors. So we talked about connectors, what connects to all these different multiple products that we have in Microsoft Power Platform. There are custom connectors that also allow you to extend your app by calling an API. Yeah, you can have this more than 400 connectors available to use, depending obviously on the license that you have. But yes, you can connect, I don't know, build your own custom connectors as well. I just want to probably summarize before we start going into the career and what we can gain out of this. For me, 3 key things, very key when it comes to Microsoft Power Platform. You analyze, act, automate. Just if you carry those 3 keywords in mind, that will drive a long way when you start building your different applications within Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah. Analyze the data. Obviously, it's data. Like I said, data is like the new oil. Drive intelligent business processes by, building this data or building the applications, and just automate anything. Just automate anything you see. Email flying into with an attachment coming into your inbox, automate it. Send it to OneDrive or SharePoint or something. Just try different things by yourself, and you will see, like, it will grow. If you happen to go for, say, for example, an interview, or you're looking for an opportunity within the Microsoft Power Platform, just by talking about your experiences and things that you've done, you will see you always have an edge over somebody that has not really done anything. You have not used it. You have not played around with it. You have not done any project. Like I said, projects, you don't have to work in an organization to utilize this. You can't just, spin up a project. There's different use cases that you can use these components of Power Platform to do. And trust me, it does go a long way if you've used it for a business case. Even your organization might not be using it, but yes, they might not have the license, or they might do, or they're not utilizing it. They might have teams. There are some things that you might probably be able to build. Approval is a good one. Organizations, people still use pen and paper to leave requests, but you can build an approval process in Microsoft Teams, for example. So we have what they call a certification roadmap. There's certifications that comes with the Microsoft Power Platform. I will also advise everybody here to actually, while you're on your journey, also look into your certifications as well. It's always best to start off with the fundamentals. There's a Microsoft Power Platform Fundamental certification. It will give you that business case. It give you all this terminology that I've just been blowing. Like, it will make you understand what they are, right? So when it comes after the fundamental stage of the certification, we also have the associate level. So when you're an associate, or when you're doing the associate level certifications, there are certifications for people that develop within the Power Platform. Yeah, there are different roles for people that do that development. We have number 1, the PL100, which is your app maker. That certification is also a basic way to understand how the apps and the workflows are developed, right? Is the builder. I call it like the building machine of the Power Platform. Once you can get through them, yes, you are on your way to get that career path that you want. The another certification for a consultant like myself is a function PL 200 functional consultant certification. So if you have that, you know, you apply it, you kind of like understand obviously how to apply the application, the workflows, like Power BI reports. You know how to apply all these elements, your PVAs, your Power Pages. You know how to apply it for a use case in a project. That's what that certification will let you, you know, have a grasp of. And then you start looking at the PL 300, which is also an associate level certification. So this is Power BI, like, you know, that's data analyst. The PL 300 is a Power BI, you know, everything Power BI. Then you also have like your developer, PL 400, so which is like the highest level when it comes to the associate certification. So you're a developer, yeah, you develop all the full solutions, you combine different components, different applications, your Dataverse, your Power BI, your Power Agent, you bring them all together in one, you know, cohesive solution. So you develop all that for applications that businesses use. We also have a new certification, which is the PL 500. So this is called dedicated to Power Automate. So RPA, Power Automate Developer certification. So if you have an interest in automating solutions for organizations, this is the certification for you. That's the best fit certification for you. Like I said, is newish. Yeah. But yeah, is a core Power Automate certification. Yeah. So all those time-consuming tasks, all those repetitive tasks, if you focus and just say, okay, yeah, this is the career I want to do. I want to automate things. I want to just utilize a full scale Power Automate developer. This is also a very good route to go to or go for as well. Yeah. Then we have the expert certification within the Microsoft Power Platform is the PL 600. This is the granddaddy of the certifications. Yeah, your solutions architect level. If you're looking to go towards that as a career path, is also a good certification to start looking into as well. I know, like, it's more about business cases. You know, you're thinking now as a solution architect, there's business cases, you're helping them to solve problems within the Microsoft Power Platform. But all these things that I'm just talking about, you know, the career path, ways to go, it's you have to discover it, you have to go in for it. It will not, like I always tell people, it will not come to you, right? You need to take ownership of your career, right? And we have every information. Actually, I think we actually have information overload when it comes to the Microsoft Power Platform. We have Microsoft Learn. There's training available for every Microsoft Power Platform certification. Yeah. On Microsoft Learn, you can go in, test your skills, read up for a certification, decide which one is best for you. Go through all of them, decide which one are you technical, are you functional, which one do you want to start with. But like I always advise people, the PL 900 is the best one to go for. And PL 900, sorry, like the fundamental, so you get to understand the basics. Just utilizing the Microsoft Learn, fitting it around you and how you learn. Yeah, that will set off your career to where you want it to go. Not only that will set you off, that will also give you the confidence. You know, you will be able to self-pace and learn. You know, take your time. Do not rush it. There's different types of training. The self-paced one, you can go on the instructor-led one and pay for it. You can also go for your Microsoft events, your training events. There's also a website that you can go in, training, register. That training usually comes with a voucher that you can use to write the certification. So these are training that have been thought by Microsoft certified trainers. So you kind of like get the best of both worlds when it comes to your career journey, your career path, and gaining this Microsoft Power Platform certifications. Yeah. You have to discover your career path. You have to know which one that you want to, that you're comfortable with. I always use the word take ownership of your career path. What are your goals? You need to be able to make those choices. Do you want to specialize or Power Automate? Do you want to be all-rounder? Do you want to go on the solution architect level? Do you want to be a functional? Yeah. At the end of the day, you have to basically take ownership, study, prepare for your exams, and yeah, you can fail an exam. People do fail. That's not the end of the world. You can always come back. You know, you have, it's not if you fail an exam, you can't do it again. You always have that choice of coming back to write the exam. Yeah. But everything is all out there for us. We've got loads of loads of learning resources that I usually say that are available for us. I wanted to bring up something for you. Yeah, I keep on talking about the Power Platform learning resources. We have a Power Wiki, they call it. Just a great place for you to go in, get all this for yourself. Like, I don't know what's the best. Is it just to take this and send it on the chat? Or Shadrach, maybe I can email you the learning resources and you can just send it to the people that attended today's class. Whichever way is comfortable for you guys, I'm prepared to do that. Oh, I also mentioned about the dashboard, sorry, not dashboard, like Power Apps in a day courses. I'll also send you links to all that as well. So you even have like Power BI dashboard in a day. You got your Power Virtual Agents in a day, Power Automate in a day. Yeah, these are all free learning resources that you can, you know, jump on and start your career from there. Yeah, just have to take ownership of that career path that you want. And also not forgetting your developer plan license. You can create apps. You can create your flows using this developer license. You just have to sign up for it. But that just gives you that ability to kind of like try all these things that I've been talking about, build them, test them, you know, like play around with them, right? Work on projects with them. The only thing is that you cannot share them. Obviously, they're just for you to kind of like, you know, build your stuff. You also get like, I think Office 365 E5 license. The things like your Power BI, your Teams, your SharePoint, you know, all the different Office 365 applications also come with this Power Apps developer plan. So yes, all your management, your build, your tests can be done on it. And it's a no-brainer. Like you can utilize this and use it, you know, to upscale your career, you know, Microsoft Power Platform. I will be I would like, you know, more engaging questions. I'd like you guys, I'm open to answering any questions for you guys. I'll post, yeah, feel free to ask any questions. And thank you, Humphrey, for that. Yeah. Sorry, somebody asked why is the audio low? Were you guys hearing me? Hello?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're hearing you.
Hello.
There was a
Sorry,
problem from their side.
all right. Okay, so I was like, oh my God, I hope I was communicating and not talking to myself. But yes, guys, feel free to join me on this journey, like on my socials, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. My Twitter is Chimmy D365. But yeah, I do ask or do share quite a lot of learning resources on my Twitter as well. And I do also, answer a lot of questions on that forum as well. Even on LinkedIn as well. You can also, um, you can also reach out to me on all these mediums. Thank you so much, Margaret. But yeah, I will. Shadrach, is up to you if you want me to. I will send it. I will send every information to Shadrach, all the learning resources, and yeah, I believe he will not distribute that to yourself. But it's been amazing. Do you want to say anything, Shadrach, or any questions?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Jimmy, for that wonderful session on walkthrough of Power Platform and its career paths. So do we have any questions from the audience before we close the session? Yeah, we have one. Stephanie, will you ask your question?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Okure. I just wanted to ask, when you said when you get the developer plan,
Yes.
and then you said you can't share. What did you mean by that? You can't share what?
So basically, if you've built applications on this, you cannot be able to share it. You can only just build it. You cannot share it to users. Sorry, that's what I mean, to other users.
Oh, okay. So I also have a follow-up on that. So does that mean, like, if let's say I create a solution using one of the Power Platform resources, that means like you can't monetize it. You can't monetize it.
No, you can't. Not using the developer plan now. It's just
Oh,
something that's given to you to be able to kind of like build, test, just get familiar with Microsoft Power Platform and, write your exams. Just something for you to play around with, build your solutions, but it's not for commercial purposes.
oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Stephanie. So just a comment from Joyce saying very informative presentation. Thank you. So do we have any other question? Ernest is asking about, thank you very much for sharing. I would like to know how much for the PL900 certification exams.
Okay, why not let's just do that. I think in the UK it's £69 plus VAT. In the US it's $99, but it all depends on what country you're in. Okay, but let's just have a look here and I'll be able to tell you specifically what that is. But yeah, depending on what country is the person in, you can just do a check on the country that you're in and it will tell you how much that will be. Okay. So for example, if we're looking at Kenya, it's 55 US dollars.
Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, and also like perhaps I could be able to comment on that. To be honest, we normally have some of the sessions by Microsoft where you will get a free certification voucher that you can be able to undertake your exam. So just be on the lookout like for such sessions where you can be able to get a free certification voucher to enable you to do the exams.
Yes, I will be sharing that as well. I'll be sharing that just after this session. Some of the where you can, it's called Microsoft Events, but on the page you can register for, just like Shadrach said, you can register for some of the certifications as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So Derek has enjoyed the flow of the presentation. Regards. Do we have any other question? So if we don't have any other question, so like as Chichime has mentioned, I'll be sharing the resources to everyone. So like we have Power Platform Kenya user group where we normally send out all the communications, all the resources that we have. So I'm posting the link to just join our Power Platform user group. What a user group means is that it's a community by Microsoft where we have Power Platform enthusiasts, and where you get to meet with the community, Microsoft experts, the Microsoft certified trainers, the MVPs. So I've shared the form for you to fill in. So like after you fill in the form, you'll get an email to join the user group. So once I get all the resources, I'll be sharing now to the via that user group. So kindly fill in the form, and I'll also be sharing a feedback form after the sessions. So if we don't have anything else pending, so thank you so much, Chime, for this wonderful session. At least we've gotten an overview of what Power Platform is all about and the career paths that we can be able to undertake. After we've completed our learning on Power Platform, and you can be also like the next Power Platform champion in Africa, for instance. Yeah. So I don't think we have anything else left. So like let me just end the session here, and then hoping to see you on the user group. So for more updates and getting the first-hand information of what's happening in our user group. So bye everyone. See you on the next session.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Billy Macharia to
Thank
tell
you.
us about the Nairobi AI monthly newsletter.